Hello again, I'm back here. It's been a long time, but I'm going nowhere. And today I want to talk about something that people ask me, and I also get some comments beneath my videos. What to learn first? Modern Standard Arabic or dialect? Um, or what to learn only, let's say, Modern Standard Arabic or dialect? Well, first off, let's say that this just depends on what you want to do with the language. So I'm referring back to one of my first videos that I made on, yeah, what do you want to do uh, with your language? Do you want to talk to people? Or do you want to be like more passive, reading stuff or listening to stuff? Or and then also what kind of things you're going to listen to or watch? Um, you see, so the answer already depends on what you want to do with the language. So let's say you are, yeah, you just want to do from everything a bit. You want to talk a bit, but you also want to be able to read. So, what happens then? Well, you can, of course, learn Modern Standard Arabic only and try to get your way through in Arab countries. They will understand you, but it depends on the education level of the people, so they will rather try to talk in English to you if they can speak English, and if not, they will, yeah, try to adapt to your Modern Standard Arabic, which is cool, which is good when they actually can do it. And if not, they will just revert to the dialect. So that's what happened to me in Damascus when I first arrived to Damascus. And I talked to the taxi driver, and the taxi driver, well, he took me all around Damascus. That's what I wanted to. And yeah, he showed me the city. So we kind of managed the whole thing, but it always felt so strained, so unnatural, very difficult also for him because I was there with my pure Fusha standard Arabic knowledge that I so yeah, that I learned with so many difficulties, with a lot of strain and effort. You know, so it was a strange experience. Actually, we got by, we understood each other, and even took me to his home because it was a 1 hour drive, and I was just happy that he was so welcoming, and yeah, we stayed in contact after that. So this was in 2000. So, but what are you going to do? You will always be confronted with this dichotomy between Modern Standard Arabic and dialect. So, if you want to learn both, it's better for you. Because you will be able to read and to listen to Fusha, to Modern Standard Arabic stuff, but you will also, yeah, understand people when they talk in dialect. Well, okay, dialect means region, dialect means country, dialect means also a local place. Even a district, let's say, can talk differently. So, which dialect? That's a completely different question. What I want to talk here about is whether this or that, and also does the one help with the other. So does the knowledge of Modern Standard Arabic help you with the acquisition of one dialect? So that was one question that a viewer asked, and I would say yes. Either way, so when you learn a Modern Standard Arabic, it will be easier for you to learn a dialect. If you learn a dialect, it will also be easier for you to learn Modern Standard Arabic. Why? Well, because many words also exist in the other variant, you see. So a language, what we call language, is nothing else than a standardized dialect, you see. there is also only a political power behind it that wants this dialect to be the standard that everyone talks with. This is one thing. The other thing is modern standard Arabic or Fusha in general has this big load of, or this heritage of the Quran, of the poetry, of everything. It takes with it. It's not a burden, but it's this huge heritage that they still want to keep alive. And that's why there are also a lot of purists, language purists, that tell you, okay, learn Fusha, you won't need anything else, because they want you to know the pure, the good, the precious language it is of Fusha, by which you will also be able, well, not completely, but you will be able to learn the old text as well, and the old forms or states of the language. So this is the purest approach. Many people tell you, okay, learn modern standard Arabic and you will get by in so many countries. In every country, people will understand you well. This is partly correct, but it is partly incorrect. Why is it incorrect? Because, well, if you sit in a coffee house, or if you want to buy a loaf of bread or something, people will just they will make fun of you, and even if your pronunciation is very good in Fusha, because they are not used to it and they just stand in front of you, and you'd rather talk in sign language, say like, I want this, rather than speak in Fusha, because look, it's just they won't understand. Well, khubz, bread is okay, you say khubz, in many places it's khubz, but in Egypt, for example, it's aish. So it will be difficult. You see what I mean? For this purpose and for these purposes, it's, well, in my opinion, is very useful, or more than that, even it's kind of obligatory that you learn a dialect, just to do those things, those daily things, if you go on an errand or something, So this is one thing. Of course, every region is different. If you're in Morocco, you'd rather speak French than learn the dialect. Well, of course you can learn the dialect, but some people in the banks and so on, they would directly talk to you in French. So this is completely different. But let's talk about Egypt, for example. In Egypt, I've been there with my Syrian Arabic and so on. So even with your Syrian, it's kind of difficult first to understand, and this is the basic thing of everything, understand, and then just to talk back, just to respond. So what I want to say is, learn the dialect for the places and for the circumstances where people speak a dialect. So the other thing is, when you meet people who have a certain level of education, which is normal. A lot of people have good education. They will speak to you in this kind of mixed Fusha plus dialect style. Or when they see that you have difficulties to understand them, or these little things in dialect that they are prone to throw in from time to time, they will go to a very, let's say, purer state of modern standard Arabic. You see, so what generally people who have a certain modicum of education, what they will do is they will mix those, and what they also will do is that they will just omit the flexion of the desinential flexion, the endings. Okay, so the endings will just disappear anyway. So nobody would say اشتريت كتابا, they would say اشتريت كتاب. Okay, so this is this omitting. اشتريت كتاب means I bought a book, but this omission of the ending is almost this just happens everywhere. This happens in the dialect, and this happens in this spoken mixed kind of MSA plus dialect style. But this also happens when you speak modern standard Arabic with people, when you're communicating on this slightly higher level of education, when you talk to people from other regions, you revert, or you enter this kind of communication, and you enter this kind of register of language, or this type of let's say learned fusha without endings, in a way, you see. And also the themes that you talk about, you're not, well, when you get into a discussion with somebody and you're talking about politics, or you're talking about some scientific stuff, of course you're even if you were talking dialect there, the dialect would be reduced to many functional words, and the vocabulary would be rather in that what you talk about, that is fusha, because this is a very specialized vocabulary, or to a certain degree specialized vocabulary, from newspapers or any other source, that you will use the same vocabulary as they are used in this field, let's say, if it's politics or society or whatever. So the dialect will recede there, in a way. But for everyday use, shopping and so on, and talking on the streets, and how are you, what's going on, and so on and so on and so on, all this is just done in dialect, and it's better that you use it. And the learning of dialect also helps you to learn modern standard Arabic. Inversely, it will even help you more to have, well, I don't know if it's more or less, because I learned MSA before. It's certainly, the forms are more numerous in modern standard Arabic. But every dialect has its rules, okay? So when you have learned modern standard Arabic, it might seem easy. Well, perhaps it's easier from the point of view of forms. They are not so numerous in the dialect, but also the dialect has rules, and they are also, well, many times very similar to the rules in modern standard Arabic. Sometimes they deviate, but that's quite normal. So this was my little introduction, and, well, a little assistance to you if you want to learn Arabic. If you like my videos, leave me a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.